So I've watched a ton of reviews, gone through a ton of comments, and the number one complaint that I saw about this palette was that it's another pink palette from Pat McGrath. And totally get where people are coming from referring to these two mattes. You know, she has done a lot of shades like that in the past. However, to me, this is different enough from her other palettes that it did not bother me. And I just wanted to go through and compare it to some of her other motherships for you guys in case you were interested in purchasing this, so you could see how similar or different they are from some of her other palettes that have shades in this color family. Okay, so let's first compare it to Divine Rose 1, which is this one here. I mean, really, to me, these look completely different. The only shades that are similar to me are these two here. However, they are like totally different finishes, and they really are quite different when swatched, as you can see. Yeah, I mean, and this, I guess you have this one here and also this one, which, let's see, again, totally different. I guess you do have also a gold in each palette. However, they are totally different in finish and tone. This one is much sparklier, so to me they are different enough to justify having both in my collection, at least. I could also see some people thinking maybe this one here and this one are similar. However, they it's kind of hard to tell on camera, but this one is much more champagne-y pink, and this one is much more like silvery sparkle, and they do look completely different on the eye, in my opinion. Okay, now let's compare to Divine Rose 2. Now, this shade and this shade were most similar to me out of all the comparisons I made. However, as you can see, they are still quite different from each other. One's a lot deeper. You then have this peachy matte here, and this one, and they are quite different. Sorry, it was those two that I just swatched. So yes, much different. Not to mention just like overall color story, this is so much cooler and this is so much warmer. So they're very different in my opinion. Okay, and here we have Utopian Dream. I would say this one and this one look somewhat similar. However, as you can see, they're quite a bit different. And then we've also got this one here. And that one actually is probably a little, well, no, see, it's still, they're all totally different depths and tones, so they're really not that close. And then this shade here is, of course, much more bright coral than anything you have in this palette. And then this is much brighter as well. I mean, this in general is just a much brighter palette. So again, in my opinion, totally different, totally justifies purchasing this one if you're into this color story. While we're here doing comparisons, let's compare some of these gray shades to the new palette. So these two are from Mothership 1. I mean, these two they're close, but it doesn't bother me. I honestly love that gray shade. So a little bit similar there. Comparing this shade to VR Sextasy. This is VR Sextasy here, and it's a little bit more teal green, and it's a little chunkier of a formula also. So yeah, in my opinion, these are different enough.